we're going to be talking about our 5 strategic themes from our current strategic plan.
So in terms of things that we added for researchers last year, one of the main ones was around work types and the expansion of our work type vocabulary. We identified an entire new class of outputs that researchers would like to include in their ORCID record, dissemination. And we also mapped it to an existing vocabulary so that we can benefit from all the hard work that the Coalition of Open Access Repositories have put into maintaining and developing a vocabulary, and also the translations they've got there. One of the other major things we did was to enable researchers to share their email domains, and specifically their institutional email domains or the professional email domains. Researchers would like to be able to add trust to their records so that people can be confident in what they have on their ORCID records. And email domains are one way of doing this. We put this in. So on to what we're going to be doing next year, this year. We've already started many of these activities, but we are going to help researchers share a wider range of their own activities on their ORCID records. We hear a lot that researchers want to be thought of as more than just metrics. We want to help researchers organize their records. This is, again, a very common piece of feedback from researchers, is the ability to really present their work and their impact in a more meaningful way to them. For researchers there, we really want to continue our drive to improve the automation around suggestions and other mechanisms of connecting researchers with other systems.
So in 2024, we started sharing messaging and imagery about trust markers, as well as the idea that our member organizations, because they add trust markers to ORCID records via their validated integrations and the data that they add, form what we call our community trust network. And the message is that over time, as more and more ORCID members contribute data about their researchers or authors, the more saturated the scholarly record becomes with that data and the accompanying trust markers. And also significant activity in 2024, we released an expandable record summary view at the top of each ORCID record. So when expanded, the viewer can see a summary of the provenance data and the trust markers found inside that record, as well as when that record was created and last updated. And our outreach materials with Community Trust Network and Trust Marker messaging is available for free in our brand library for anybody to use. We publish everything under it. But of course, the easiest way for an organization to rapidly gain value from their ORCID membership is simply to turn on a pre-built integration in a system that they already use. So whether that's one of the popular open source scholarly infrastructure platforms or a service provided by a commercial vendor. ORCID certifies system integrations built by providers of these scholarly services in our Certified Service Provider, or CSP, program. And we now have 16 widely used systems certified. And as you can see, we have plans for increasing values to members this year and every year. But I want to highlight a few of them. The first is about improving bulk data access options, which is one of the key differences in the benefits for premium versus basic membership. We're also investigating embedding ORCID profile creation into user provisioning workflows.
In 2024, we were able to continue growing, and we onboarded 2 new consortia, one in Lebanon and one in Nigeria. This was possible thanks to our membership equity program. Also, in terms of new members, we onboarded 112. 82 of them were consortium members and 28 direct members. And the most amazing thing was that we had our first members from Bahamas and Uzbekistan, and also Ecuador as part of the regional Latin American consortium. We continue with our Global Participation Fund, and in fact, in 2024, we granted 11 grants in total, 8 community development and outreach grants going from countries like Uganda, India, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Ghana, Kenya, and Malawi, and also 3 technical integration grants. But last year, we were able to organize our first consortium lead workshop together with the board meeting in Latin America. We also kept working with our community so that we can have a greater ORCID adoption in the Global South. But we didn't only focus on the Global South, but also on the adoption of ORCID in different communities. In 2025, we're going to keep going with those activities, but also we would like to focus on others. In particular, I would like to highlight the work that we plan to do with small organizations, more precisely with small journals, because currently the fee model might not adjust to their needs in terms of fee and also number of publications they have per year. So we would like to offer ORCID better for those small journals.
Organization itself. This time last year, we told you that we were going to set up a formal cybersecurity program, and indeed we did that. The work completed in 2024 included the hiring of a dedicated cybersecurity team, including a fractional consultant, CISO, and a security engineer in my team. We rolled out comprehensive cybersecurity training for all staff, and we released a new version of the member portal with updated software libraries and improved credential management in the registry and member portal, which is the... We also took another look at our spam detection process. We've enhanced the automation processes there to make sure that records can be identified and locked as quickly as possible. Thanks. Yeah, and on the technical side for next year, we will be implementing the next phase of the cybersecurity program. Lots of good stuff in there across the organization. We're working on a big project at the moment to update a framework we use in the registry for security, Spring Security, to continue keeping our software supply chain free of vulnerabilities.
Privacy policy, and for the first time since ORCID launched well over a decade ago, we rewrote the privacy policy. Importantly, there were no changes to the underlying practices, the privacy practices disclosed under the prior policy, but to modernize it and update it, we used the current trend, which is clearer presentation of the information about data protection rights, and make it, frankly, more easier to read. Under ethics and compliance, we published a revised whistleblower policy, and this, in fact, is available on our website for your review. And last, we updated our staff code of conduct to make it easier to understand and make sure that we're compliant with some worldwide regulations. At the open of the presentation, we had a very strong financial performance in 2024, and the past several years, as indicated in the chart, has been quite supportive of our drive towards long-term financial sustainability. And net assets has grown from 400,000 in 2021 to 4.4 million in 2024. And as a result, we've been able to build reserves.
We want to make sure that ORCID is a great place to work for our staff. We are a fully remote team. We've been remote since our founding in 2012, and we are small but mighty with 42 staff in 14 different countries. So with that, in 2024, we were working to improve equity across all benefits offered in these different countries. We streamlined our employer of record providers, and we also provided a universal sabbatical leave program for employees. And in 2025, we're continuing to roll out universal policies and continuing to improve equity across benefits. We've just rolled out a universal disciplinary and grievance policy, and we're working to streamline our travel process as well. Additionally, we are looking to improve our performance management process and tools this year, and we are also starting plans for our annual retreat that will be in Dublin, Ireland, later in the year. In 2025, we're delighted to welcome 4 new board members. We're continuing to build a global board that reflects our members. Right now, we have the board is quite focused on drafting the next 4-year strategy to cover 2026 through 2029.